Hi everyone, in this video we can see OpenGL functions for lighting. In the previous video we have learned what is light, the different types of light, the material properties and the corresponding equations we have learned in the previous video, and in this video we will be learning only the OpenGL functions for lighting. Right? This is the default view in the OpenGL. When I draw an object using OpenGL, I'll get like this, right? This is when I use lighting effect. I'll get the object like this when I use the lighting effect. Hope you can see the difference between both the objects. When I disable the light source, I get the image in this form. And you know the different types of light, ambient light, diffuse and specular. Coming to specular, right, it is the color of the highlight. Diffuse light is color of the object when it is illuminated. Coming to ambient, color of the object when it is not illuminated. I'll say it once again. Specular is color of the highlight. Diffuse is color of the object when it is illuminated. Ambient is color of the object when it is not illuminated. And one more type we have, emissive light. The type of the light that is emitted from the object, type of the light which is being emitted by an object. Here we can see a few examples. The first is wireframe, original color of the object, and ambient light, you know, ambient is color of the object when it is not illuminated. Diffuse is color of the object when it is illuminated. Specular is color of the highlight, and emissive is type of the light that the object is emitting. Right. Next is light functions in OpenGL. Right. To give this lighting effect, what I have to do in OpenGL, that we can see in the further slides. First is I have to enable GL lighting. Right. I have to use the function GL enable and I have to enable lighting. Second is in OpenGL, at a time I can enable 8 light sources. The first light source will be light 0 and the 8th one will be light 7. Right? I have to enable individual light sources. So first is GL enable, GL lighting. Second is GL enable, I'll enable the corresponding light source. Next, once the light source is enabled, I have to set the position for the light. Right, for this I'll use the function GL light FV, right, for which light I have to give the position. Right, for the first light I am setting the position, and this position value I am specifying in an array. Position value I am specifying in an array, and this V denotes, right, inside this function I am using an array name. That is the value I have to take from this array. If I am specifying these values directly in this place, it is not necessary to use this V. Right. Once the position of the light is done, right, I have to set the color of the light. You know, there are 3 different types of light: ambient light, diffuse and specular. So for every light source, I have to set these 3 components. Right. So GL light F for the first light, ambient component; for the first light source, diffuse component; for the first light source, specular component. Right. These values either I can specify directly here or I can specify in an array and I can use the array name. If I am using the array name, I should use this V. If not, I should not use this V. Right. Next is I have to set the material color. Right, I have to set the material color. For that, the corresponding OpenGL function is GL material FV. First parameter is which side of the polygon. Right, I have to specify the side of the polygon. Either I can specify GL front or GL back, or I can specify GL front and back. right? I have to specify the specular value and the shininess value. Specular value I have specified in an array and I have used the array name. Shininess coefficient, it will be in the range from 0 to 128, right? Any value between 0 and 128 I have to specify as the third parameter, right? When I program lighting model in OpenGL, two things I have to remember: light source and the material of a material property, right? Light source and the material property I have to remember. Material property depends upon the reflected light. So reflected light, right? What does it have? So that I'll be specifying in GL material FE. So GL front side, for this side I have specified the ambient component, diffuse, specular and shininess. So two things we have to remember: when I program lighting effects in OpenGL, I have to specify the light source and I have to specify the material property. To specify the light source, the function is GL light FE. To specify the material property, I have to use GL material FE. Material property of an object is usually the color of the reflected light. Thank you.